I guess I commend him for trying something. I don't think he stands to lose anything at all if some occurrence takes place. I do not want the town to be liable. Throughout the application that he requested from when he started, he made numerous changes. From 100, 300, somebody corrected him, maybe 1,000 people. In his flyer, he shows up to 3,000 people. He had no bona fide operation in effect to apply for any liquor license or beer license. So he switched from OstrichFest to another entity that he has. Again, taking the, am I being recorded?
Is that all right?
No. Again, taking the liability off of himself to another entity. So he did request for a beer license, which OstrichFest was not in operation long enough to get it. Now in his flyer he says Jello shooters. We all know Jello shooters, vodka, some other liquor, which he has no request for a liquor license or can't get it there because you can't get an extra liquor license. The safety of the community, very concerned about. Other entities, other buildings that are proposed, our fire department has to have improved areas to get in and out. If it's a long area, there has to be staging area. On this site, if there is an event that takes place by the stages, we would request to have a gravel improved portion for the fire truck, ambulance, or whatever has to get in. Liability on the town, we want none. Insurance is going to be extremely expensive. I did check on some of the events that insurance is requested. So from the onset, he keeps changing from what he originally requested. Originally it was noon until midnight, one day only. Now it's noon to noon for 2 days. The flyers and some of the website starts at 9 o'clock in the morning, which is a change from the original request. 1 day camping, which now I guess he covers from noon to noon, which I suppose is 1 day. But I see nothing but problems arising. I commend him for trying it, but I don't think a lot of the groundwork was done ahead of time, and we want no liability on the town, none. We can't afford it. The parking, which we're going to require, and I believe there's a list, if this is passed by your board, of requirements that are going to be needed. Proper signs, and he said he would post his own signs. He's got a computer, he can make signs. There will be no parking on the road at night. It's going to have to be approved signs by the town board, erected by a person qualified to erect signs. Not a couple of his buddies from college with homemade signs signed by him. Law enforcement can't enforce a sign that's a homemade sign. There's already a big poster on a barn on Highway 310 for eastbound traffic. So there's a lot of advertisement that's done ahead of time without permits being issued. So I hope you take this in consideration with the specifications that you have a copy of from our town that we're going to require if you pass this. Thank you.
Okay, John Hunter, Chairman for the Town of Kossuth, 6920 West Road. I guess I ain't gonna go and repeat what was really said already here and everything else, but this town board has tremendous concern on what's all gonna happen with the carry-on, with if you get rain, how are you gonna handle all these people? It's just one thing after another. It's one headache after another headache. There's no, I agree. There's so many different parcels of of different properties, parks and everything else, where this thing could be set up, where you have the proper water and everything, it would be so simple to compare to start with something like this. We get bad weather, it's only gonna be another big hair for the town board. So I just cannot support this. Thank you very much.
The town of Kossuth proposes issuing a conditional use permit to OstrichFest within the town of Kossuth for the following reasons. Number one, it is inconsistent with regard to our approved comprehensive land use plan. There are no provisions for any events of this sort within our plan. Number two, the proposed site is not conducive to an event of this type. Specifically, it is sloped and a large portion is relatively low. The fields currently are plowed and not established in sod. Number three, there is inadequate ingress and egress at the proposed site. The site has limited access, which is likely to create traffic congestion at various times. Number four, there are nearby residences, farms, and livestock that will be subject to noise, light, and excessive traffic. Number five, a number of town residents have expressed opposition to this event. No residents have come forward to the town board in support of it. Number six, Stone Road does not have adequate width for any parking and heavy two-way traffic. Number seven, the terms of a ticket purchase relieves the host and sponsors of any liability with regard to safety and attendees, according to their website and ticket purchase agreement. In the event of an emergency or crisis, the town will be stuck with costs and potential liabilities for which it wants no part of. The permit application is an LLC and quite likely has no assets. Number eight, OstrichFest LLC cannot be issued a picnic license to serve fermented beverages since it has not been in existence for more than 6 months. It has been proposed that the applicant for the picnic license now will be Stone Road Publications, further complicating any liability issues. A flyer says they will serve beer and Jello shots. Jello shots are not permissible under a temporary picnic license. Number nine, the applicant has established a website, has media advertising promoting the event, is posting signage, and is selling tickets, all without having any approved permits. Number 10, overnight camping is proposed and should require permitting along with food service. Number 11, their website states the hours of operation are from 9 a.m. till midnight. The application states noon till midnight. Number 12, the applicant stated he would not have fireworks due to town permit requirements, but has since changed his mind and is advertising fireworks. He will not be able to comply with town permit requirements in time for this event. Number 13, since the site will be powered by temporary means, electrical safety is a concern. Number 14, the applicant has stated he will slap 2x4s together for stages, raising concern regarding sturdiness and safety. Number 15, it is believed the sponsors and public would be better served if an event of this type were held at a site that has already been developed for the purpose of public entertainment. There are many within a relatively short distance that have adequate parking, restrooms, water, and electrical power. Should the Board of Adjustment disagree with the town's position and decide to issue a conditional use permit for this event, the following minimum conditions should be enforced. The cost to be paid for by the applicant. Number 1, the permit should expire after the scheduled event and not be renewed without review of compliance to conditions and further public input. Number 2, the applicant must have liability insurance with $1 million per occurrence and $10 million in aggregate as a minimum, and name the town of Kossuth and Manitowoc County as lost payees. Number 3, must have formally established hours of operation and setup. Number 4, limit noise and light pollution in the area. Number 5, approved no parking signs on poles must be placed on Stone Road in compliance with town specified requirements. Number 6, the electrical installation must be done by a journeyman electrician and subject to inspection by the town inspection agency. Number 7, camping permit, food service permit, water testing, restrooms, and hand wash stations must be approved by Manitowoc County agencies. Number 8, the stages needed to be designed and load rated by a professional engineer and inspected by a town building inspection agency. Number 9, tents and structures must be inspected by the local fire department and adequately protected by fire extinguishers per their requirements. Number 10, reserve deputies need to be hired through the Sheriff's Department and be on site for the duration of the event. Number 11, an additional driveway for emergency site access shall be applied for through the town and installed per specification. Number 12, Any expenses incurred by the town or Manitowoc County shall be charged back to the applicant. Signed, Town of Kossuth Chairman, John Hutter.
Well, I think part of what you have to recognize is I don't think anybody is necessarily opposed to the venue or what you're trying to accomplish. I think for the most part, most of the issue lies with the site itself and not having any infrastructure or improvements there that are conducive for an event of this type.